Make sure you guys keep an eye on Fairleigh Dickinson's women's basketball team in this year's March Madness tournament. So let's get our dancing shoes on and go dancing with FDU head coach Stephanie Gaitley. Coach, thank you for hopping on with us. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
You should be, because y'all are riding a 22-game win streak, which is one of the longest in the nation, two, the longest in program history. You've also won 22 of your last 23, but you're only a 15 seed. So two-part question here. Do you feel like y'all kind of got snubbed on the seeding? And number two, is FDU the hottest and most dangerous team in this year's tournament?
I don't feel we got snubbed just from the history of the conference. I think there's only one other team when Quinnipiac was in the NEC that they were a 15 seed. I feel they have a hard job to do, and I felt, we saw us being a 16 seed or even a play-in game. So to end up a 15 seed, to be honest, we were really happy about that.
Talk to me about you guys. Do you feel as though you guys are playing your best basketball right now going into this tournament?
We are absolutely, without a doubt, playing our best basketball. I mean, I think the last couple weeks, I mean, now that I had a chance to reflect a little bit on what we've accomplished, that if you look at the scores, we've put people away, by double figures for the most part the last month or so. And I think and haven't shot extremely well. So it's indicative that our defense is where it needs to be. And hey, guess what? If your shots are going and offense is hitting, anything can happen.
Yeah, you talking about beating teams by double digits. 9 of your last 10 have been by 10 or more. Just shout out to our statistician for that one. Let's talk about you personally, though, Coach, because this is your fourth program that you're going dancing with. So what do you say to your squad, like handling business in the biggest moments of the tourney, and what sets this bid apart from the others?
You know what? My first one that I had, I still remember it was at the University of Richmond. And I remember them asking me, like, what do you think? I'm like, I don't care who we play. We just want to play. And I want to bottle that like excitement for the kids, but at the same time, I want to learn that they go with like a business-like approach. But to be honest, it's going to be, at least from my perspective, and I think from the kids' perspective too, to now be the underdog as opposed to be the team expected to win. I just haven't been in that role more often. I really think that our kids will thrive on that.
So you guys are going down to Fort Worth, Texas. You're the 15th seed. You're playing against the two-seeded TCU. March Madness is all about the Cinderella stories, Coach, as you know. What's it going to take for you guys to pull off the upset and just mess up everybody's bracket?
We kind of learned from the men a couple years ago when they when they were upset about from Purdue. I mean, the women's game is a little bit more difficult just because TCU's on their home court. So obviously not having that neutral court, I think does make a difference. It makes the upset more difficult. My biggest thing, and we played at UConn this year, we played at Rutgers, we played at Syracuse, and that some of the reasons behind playing them was just to get us ready for moments like this. So for us, I think the biggest thing for us is, fear no one, respect all, and go out and just, play hard. We kind of make it into 8 5-minute games is, see how many of those 5-minute games we can put together. And like you said, you never know at this time of year.
Well, what did your team take away from those big games?
I'll tell you the biggest difference I took away from this year as opposed to last year's. Last year, I thought like we opened up, you know, at Iowa with Caitlin Clark, and I felt we played really intimidated and really kind of got lost in the moment with, the crowd and everything else. And so I think what I take away from it is our kids will have no fear. And I think our kids will like they relish this opportunity and they're realistic. They know what comes with being a 15 seed and that that we have a 1% chance of winning. But hey, 1% is better than zero.
Yes, it is. And I'd be remiss if we don't shout out some of the players. So, who are some of the players that people who may not be familiar with your program, who are some of your players on your team that they should keep an eye on in this game?
Well, Tanisha Brown, killed it yesterday in the championship. She had 34 points and 8 rebounds, and she was on a tear of like 10 or 11 straight double games. And she was first team all conference, should have been player of the year. She ended up being defensive player of the year. So to be honest, that was a big fuel as we made the run down the stretch, just that she was ignored as being player of the year. So I expect her to come in and play with a lot of confidence. We have a really outstanding freshman, Ava Renninger, who has had a great year. She was rookie of the year as well as first team all conference. And then, it's just a well-oiled machine, so to speak, because we have two kids, Abby Conklin and Abby Babor, who have been outstanding. And then we have a kid from New Zealand, Lily Park, who made all tournament yesterday. So, and we have a much deeper bench this year. So we, at any given night, somebody different can step up, which makes this team, I think, dangerous and exciting.
And that's a luxury to have, Coach. Good luck down there in Fort Worth. It's only an upset to those who don't know about the program, Coach. But here at the New York
I
Post
love that.
Sports,
I love that.
we're
I love
giving
that.
y'all's flowers. Good luck. Shock the world.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me on.
Yes, ma'am.